Hello, this is Dr. Sonny with Chester Creek Chiropractic. I'm going to add to our blog post on stretching. I'm going to run through 8 specific stretches with you that you can do every day. It will do a numerous amount of things for you, all described in the blog above. But the most important thing is we want to gain mobility and increase our range of motion, really permeate the tissue with good healing properties, and just keep that life force moving in your body. So I'm going to get into how to stretch real quick. Some really good tips that we've come up with. You want to, number one, make sure that your body's in proper alignment. Okay, your pelvic and spine are neutral. So your pelvis right here, your spine right here, okay, are all neutral, stacked like golden coins basically down. Think of your vertebrae just stacking on top of each other. Also too, it's really important that you take this 10 to 15 minutes a day to just check out, make sure that you have a nice quiet space or a space where you can concentrate on what you're doing, which is slow breathing. Do not hold your breath through a stretch. It's only going to increase interthecal pressure, which can cause more damage on you than good. So really slow down your breathing, relax the stretch, make sure that you're getting into a good state of just ease. It'll help your clarity as well. Also too, you don't want to really get right into the stretch. You want to ease your way into the stretch. You want to find those tension points on your body, and your body will respond to it, and that's where you want to hold your stretch. So find those areas that move gently into the stretch until you feel that tension, and that's your end point, end range on it. Don't just get real deep into it, okay? Onto that, we don't want to use force to lengthen our stretch or increase our stretch. We want to use gravity. Okay, there's enough gravity that's going to help us pull into that stretch in a more gentle manner, and you're going to get a great amount of benefit out of it than actually forcing yourself into a stretch. You can get injured, but you can also, again, do more harm than good. So really let that gravity just put you into the stretch routine. And important too is to hold these stretches or these poses. It's going to incorporate some yoga here. Into a 1 to 2 minute hold for each side if we're doing bilateral, okay? So it may seem like that might take more than 15 minutes. It may. If you're rushed, pressed for time, hopefully you're not, you would do that for a 30-second hold each side, but try to get that 1 minute in, 2 minutes if you have the time. And on that note, which is talked about above on the blog, when to stretch is really important for you to get the benefits out of this. You want to do it post-exercise within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, let your body continually to be warmed up, heated up, ready to go, so you can really get the most benefit from the stretch as mentioned above. If you're going to stretch prior to exercise, I don't recommend it. I recommend warming up first, then doing a static stretch. But if you are just really dead set on that's part of your warm-up, again, described above is what's called more of a dynamic stretch, which needs to be accompanied with a partner that is well trained in that, or if you're a health professional or if you're well trained in that aspect of it, feel free to do a dynamic stretch, but it does pose for more injury, open yourself up for something to go wrong, so be careful with that. I recommend warming up and then just getting into routine. You don't want to stretch, again, if you're a sprinter, or a power lifter. If you need a quick burst of energy, you want to do a proper warm-up, an aerobic warm-up first to permeate the tissue with blood. You want to keep those tension in the fibers real tight, but nice and warmed up and pliable. You don't want to lengthen those and then expect to get a burst. You want that burst to come from a tight fiber into that area, okay? A warmed up tight fiber. You obviously don't want to get off the couch and go sprint. You need to warm that up first and then sprint. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So let's get into it. We're going to go through 8 different stretches. I'm going to utilize kind of the anatomy for you to understand where you're stretching at. I'm going to try to keep myself stacked as best as possible. and then we'll go through it. So again, a lot of these are forms of yoga poses, which I think is a wonderful practice for people to get into. So the first one we are going to do is called the ragdoll. All right, so this is going to release tension in your low back, neck, shoulders, and stretch the back of the legs, okay? This is one where you really want to, I'm going to get from the side here, you really want to get in to a stacked position of your hips, shoulder width apart, okay? You're going to cross your arms, and you want to get into a good place. I'm not going to hold these stretches for 1 to 2 minutes, because for the sake of the video and for you to save on time, but you would want to try to get into a state of almost meditation for this one to start your stretching routine, because you'll see you'll get quite a bit of a rush to the head. So you stack the spine, shoulders up, bend at the hips until you feel tension in the hamstrings, slowly dropping the shoulders, letting the weight of the upper body fall, letting your head go in between, almost resting on your forearms, and then you're going to hold that. You're going to feel that stretch along your hamstrings, along your back. The weight of the arms are going to pull that upper back into a nice position. You're just going to get into a good place. Now, when you've gotten to that minute or two, you're going to slowly come up, keeping your arms close to your body. Do not rush that process, and then tighten the abs at the end, okay? So that's stretch number 1, which we'll call the ragdoll, all right? Next, we are going to get into our low lunge with side bend. Now this is going to be a 1 side, 2 side stretch, okay? What we're gonna try to accomplish with this is get into a lunge position, but we really wanna hit the hip flexors, growing glutes, and side torso and lats. So it's a really good full body stretch. One thing to be careful with this stretch is that you really do not want to overdo your hip flexors. If you have a hip flexor injury going on, growing injury, this is one that you'd want to avoid, which is fairly common. So be careful with this if you do feel any type of hip flexor issues, okay? So we're just gonna do 1 side to demonstrate. I'll angle it, that might help. So we're gonna get into here, stack the hips straight on here, okay? We're going to come down. Yoga mats are nice for this. If you don't have a carpeted surface, you're going to get into here. You're going to rest your hand on your side, and you're going to slowly come across the body, keeping your neck straight and hold. Just like so. Then slowly come back after a minute or 2. Let's do the other side. Maybe a different angle. So we come in, come down, point the toe back, get up into a strength routine, hand down and across. Good, and then back up. Here, forward. That was a little too quick. All right, next one, we're gonna do the Sphinx. Sphinx is an extension move for the low back. Great for disc herniations as well, okay? Like I mentioned in the blog above, it'd be easy to name this 8 great low back stretches for pain, but that's not entirely true. This is great for athletic, to feel like an athlete. I think ultimately we want to feel like we are energized, and athletics usually gives you that persona of that. Don't need to be an athlete to feel like one, but you want to have that healthy lifestyle that most of those athletes do have. So let's get into that. It's quite simple. You're going to come down straight, arms forward, okay? And you're just going to slowly come up, roll that back up, and look up. Keeping the pelvis planted into the ground, feeling the stretch in your low back, reversing that curve. And I'm going to show you that from the side. So here, come down, flat, slowly arch back here. A progression off of this would be to come up with the palms, careful, hands under your body, trying to keep that pelvis low. should feel a stretch in your abdomen for this. And then slowly come back. I sometimes like to end this with a cat camel and kind of stretch out that back, just like so. Good. Dead pigeon, otherwise known as the figure 4 stretch, is probably one of the most important ones you're going to do. It's going to hit your glutes, your pelvis should be locked, and you should also have your spine in a neutral position. Okay? So, quite simply, you're going to do both sides. Come forward. You're going to make a 4 with the leg crossed. You're going to reach through. You're going to sit back, and you're going to bring that right leg to your chest, feeling the stretch along the left hip piriformis region into the leg. This is a great stretch for sciatica or piriformis syndrome. Holding for a minute to 2, then we will switch from an angle position and show you the right side. Crossing, arms through, back, slow down, watch your neck. Coming up. Great. After a minute or 2, come up, release. The next one will be the reaching hand to toe. This is going to be amazing for our calves, hamstrings, okay? So we'll have right leg straight, left leg here. This is a progression exercise. You're slowly going to try to get, this should be a minute to 2 minute process, up to your toe. Keeping your spine neutral, your neck relaxed. Come down, and then alternate. Up. Come up the back of the leg, pulling it towards your chest. Reaching for that toe. And hold it. Keeping your bottom leg as flat as possible to the floor. Good. Great stretch for your hamstring and your calf. Next will be our bridge, okay? So this is gonna release hip flexors again, and also it positions your spine, opens up your chest and your front of your shoulders, which is amazing. So you're gonna start here on your back, and you're gonna thrust the pelvis up to the ceiling, bridge, open up your shoulders, breathe easy, and hold that for a minute to 2 or as long as you want to go that day, okay? Great abdomen workout as well. Good. Next one, this is our reaching spinal twist, okay? This one can be somewhat of a challenge. I want to make sure that you guys are taking this slow and easy, okay? So what it can incorporate and do for the best portion of this stretch is low back glutes, IT band, but really be careful with this one, okay? So we're gonna come across like so, all right? Bringing the leg across just like this, all right? You're gonna relax down to the floor, reach here. You can grab your hamstring, back of the knee, front of the leg, whatever you feel comfortable with, and you're gonna reach across like so, and you're gonna counter that turn of the right knee, trying to drop it to the floor, keeping this pelvis, trying to be as flat as possible, and reaching out with your right hand to the opposite wall, looking that way for 1 to 2 minutes, slowly increasing tension with gravity, okay? Don't overdo this. Slowly come up. Here, switching, okay? Crossed, over, and pull. This is one that needs to be done when you are primed and ready. This is not a cold stretch for anyone. Good. 1 to 2 minutes each side. Awesome. Last one, the happy baby, okay? I'm gonna do this one from the side. Groins, hamstrings, all right? This is a good one to end on. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up here, legs at 90, and you're gonna open up that groin and that hamstring, okay? If you can't grab your feet, just grab the inside of your ankles, kind of bringing those knees to the floor as far as you can. Breathing a big, deep, let gravity work. In, out. Good, 1 to 2 minutes. Relax. And that is your easy 8 stretch routine to be like an athlete. If you like anything you've heard, check us out on our, we have a YouTube channel that we're using, Chester Creek Chiropractic. Also our website, www.chestercreekchiro.com, Facebook page, or come see us at the office in Duluth. We go through this with the majority of our patients on a one-on-one unique experience as part of their care. There's always exercise rehabilitation built in for them. Simple, at-home, easy stuff that they can incorporate in their chiropractic. So I appreciate you watching along and have a happy stretching. And this is kind of your gateway into fitness, getting mobile, getting loose, getting your body feeling healthy is a good start to your routine of that journey towards ultimate health. So Dr. Sonny with Chester Creek Chiro, appreciate you watching along, and hopefully you got some good tips.